This is the most secret Avengers, number 5. And if anyone in all the world manages to get that fucking reference, I will give you some money. This is the issue all about Maxwell L. Jackson. It's a more modern comic. It comes from 2011, I think. Maybe 2010. That is him there, Maxwell L. Jackson. He is the evil robo-copy of Samuel L. Jackson that we have been seeing in the Defenders. See, I told you, they brought him back and that he had more appearances. He was kind of the arch-villain for this first run on the book. And this issue, it's all about him. It's expanding his backstory and showing where he has been all these years and what happened to him after that Defenders story. Don't worry, there is a spoiler in this for how that story ends, but I have ingeniously hidden it. I will say one thing, there is far too many artists for a single issue of a comic. None of these are the regular artists on the book, and it fucking grates on us that fucking professional comic book artists, they cannot fucking finish a 22-page book by themselves. I do understand that there are sometimes circumstances, maybe someone broke their hand or their dad died, but this happens all the fucking time. We have comics like this with 3 different artists because not only could one not finish a 22-page book, but 2 couldn't finish a 22-page book together. It really fucking annoys us. If you're going back, Jack Quimby, he was doing like 6 books at once. The Buscema brothers, they always had like multiple books coming out every month. And these jokers, they can't finish a single fill-in issue of the fucking most secret Avengers. It's fucking embarrassing. Didn't take jobs. Didn't become a comic book artist if you can't act it. If you can't draw 22 pages in a month or to a deadline, go and become a plumber or something. I have moaned about the art, but this is a good issue. The Avengers, they aren't really in it, but it's more of a continuity piece, really, and it's not bad. We got Samuel L. Jackson. He is telling Captain America and the Last from Revenge all about his evil robo-copy. That's a framing sequence. Here we have got the origin of Maxwell L. Jackson, how Hank Scorpio stole him, and how he was reprogrammed and radicalized. And it's like, it's got all Samuel L. Jackson's knowledge and his memories, but it is a terrorist. Then we have got the Who Remembers Hank Scorpio story, and that is how I have covered up the spoiler with a sheet of toilet paper. There is the Defenders up there, and if you look, they've not drawn Moon Man with them. And that is interesting because it would seem to support my argument that Moon Man, he was never really a member of the team. Even though he was there for that part of the story, and there would be a really solid narrative purpose for depicting Moon Man there, because both him and Velcro, they are members of this Avengers team. So it would be a really sensible link to make. But also, Velcro, she is drawn in the wrong costume, so maybe it is just shit continuity in a comic book edited by Tom Beevor. After the Defenders story, Maxwell L. Jackson, he goes through a bunch of things and he can't accept that he's not the real Samuel L. Jackson. So he escapes and then stuff happens. And it dawned on us that on paper, this might seem very similar to something that Kurt Busiek would do. And I hate Kurt Busiek. This is kind of like The Secret Life of Maxwell L. Jackson, which, of course, is Kurt Busiek's old stock and trade, where he takes a character from continuity, be it Kronos or Madame Masks or Space Pantsmans or Ultron or whoever, and then just repeatedly gans through their history and retcons everything to serve his own story. He has this pretense of being a big comic book fan and that he is in some way lovingly ganning back and retconning everything because he loves comics so much and he knows all these hard comics that he wants you to know that he knows. But it's all just selfish shit that usually breaks the character and leaves their past appearances as hollow shells or absolute nonsensical mockeries. We do, in some regard, have some Kurt Busiek style stuff here. We have got a rather obscure character plucked from continuity. We've got a whole issue that is just going back and fleshing out their backstory. We have got some revisions going on, but this, unlike all of Kurt Busiek's rubbish, this is done well. This is done correctly. This is done from a place of love. Clearly the writer, he has read the Who Remembers Hank Scorpio's story, and he noticed Maxwell L. Jackson as a character, as someone with potential who was worth bringing back, and here he doesn't go back and completely retool that story to make Maxwell L. Jackson match his version of the character. He doesn't go back and make it so that Maxwell L. Jackson, he was like just pretending to be Hank Scorpio's slave for a laugh. He builds on that story and he reinvigorates and propels this art character without discounting or selfishly remaking his past appearance. There's now here that ruins or complicates or even changes the Defender's story, whereas Kurt Busiek, he would have retconned it and it all been a big game of charades. So Maxwell L. Jackson, he is at large and the Avengers, they're going to have to stop him. And here we see how he became affiliated with the new evil terrorist group that has been appearing in this book. And now Ginger Nut here, he is a member. And down here, Maxwell L. Jackson, he is studying the most secret Avengers. This is Black Star's last appearance in the book. And also, he has forgotten to research Ant-Man. Comic edited by Tom Beaver. So that is the comic there, and I like it in spirit. I think it is an admirable try. It's not perfect, but I respect the majority of it. I do like that it's bringing back this character and re-establishing him and giving him a new direction and filling in the gaps and gunning out his backstory. I think it could have been better, but I have seen it done much, much, much worse by Kurt Busiek, so I rate this 7 thumbs up.